Ladies and gentlemen, Danny Duncan.
Oh, it is good to be back. Oh, it is so good to be back doing the podcast. It has been, I was thinking about it before I started today, and it has been over a year since I've done these things. And to prove that fact, I was in the middle of setting up all of the rigging that I've acquired over the years of doing podcasts, and I kind of forgot how to set it up to be to my liking. So I had these like 4 or 5 pieces of equipment, and I don't know what the settings were that I had, and all the knobs have been turned and twisted from moving. So I had to pull out just this old little kind of mobile recorder, and that's why it might not sound like the best quality right off the bat for this first one. But I figured I would just wanted to get you one, and that was more important than getting it to sound radio quality right off the bat. But believe me, that's coming. I'm going to adjust all the levels as we go. And, of course, once I kick off all the cobwebs, it's going to sound a lot better. So the format for this new podcast, as you can tell, I'm going the YouTube route. I used to upload them to iTunes, and you guys could download them there. But I just feel like, the audience is all already here. It's easier. It's cheaper. I had to pay for a server through the other route, going through iTunes. It wasn't cheap. It was like $40 a month just to upload, a couple megabytes here and there. So I figured I'd go the YouTube route. You guys are all here. There's a comment section, and it gives me a break from the vlogs as well because I kind of want Sundays off. I take a lot of time to do the vlogs throughout the week. I'll get to that here in a second, but I wanted Sundays to be a little bit of a day of leisure. Yes, football is a big factor in that. We're all fans of something, and I wanted that one day to where I could be able to just relax and sit down, and more importantly, on a day where vlogging didn't really feel like something I wanted to do, I could say, hey, just knock this one out, go take care of some stuff and film it, and then you have Sunday to look forward to. So I think it's going to be a good format, and it's something that's going to help me get better at being more consistent with the vlogs. Because I'll be honest with you guys, I feel like I owe you an apology. I know a lot of you guys are like, no, don't apologize. It's your life. You're doing your thing. But at the same time, I think, if I drew you in to watch these videos, I sucked you in. I did my best to get you to be a fan of it. And then I kind of let you down when you get into the routine of, let's see what he's up to today. And I spent the day just doing nothing that was really that interesting, so I never felt inclined to pull out the camera, and that's something that I want to get away from. It's been a weird phase. I don't know how to explain it. It's just I'm kind of trying to. There was a weird phase. I'm not gonna get woe is me, but there's a phase where I just kind of my head really wasn't in it. It wasn't really in anything. It's just kind of cloudy, and I don't know. I felt like I just didn't know which direction I wanted to go, so. That's kind of contributed a lot to me, not filming a lot of the vlogs. But that's in the past. It's beyond that. I got this new schedule that I think I'm going to stick to. It's going to be really good for consistency and everything like that. I had this revelation when I was in LA that I need to get back into this. This is something that's really important to me, and I got to stop just taking it for granted. Speaking of LA, that was one of the best trips ever, because as you know, being in a band and being in the entertainment industry, you get to a point where you start to dislike LA and New York, because every time you go there, it's shaking hands. I mean, it's not terrible people, but it feels like a business, to whereas if you're out in the middle of St. Louis or you're in Seattle or something like that, you're just there for the show. You get to meet all the fans and you have fun. You remember why you do it. It's just a blast. Being able to do what I do, and I'm very fortunate to do it. But when you go to New York or LA, it's just like, hey, meet this guy from this company, meet this person, and half the time, it doesn't even work out. It's just kind of like I said, it's shaking too many hands. But this trip to LA, I was dog sitting for Jake and Jess's landlady. It was 2 sweet old dogs, and I just did it for free. It was essentially 3 weeks in LA for free, and those of you who live in LA or have lived in LA, that's not cheap to live out there. So I was just like, what? I'll take a little vacation. I'll detox out there after Warped Tour and enjoy myself. So I wanted to kick off the vlogs, getting back into a more rapid schedule. You can kind of count on them to be there the next day when I was out in LA, and I think I did a pretty good job. I think I was there 17 days, and I put out 15 vlogs, which, I mean, if you've been paying attention to 2016, that might be the record. In 17 days, I cranked out 15 vlogs, and that doesn't happen too often. So it was like a little kind of revelation I had out there that I wanted to get back to the glory days, if you will. And the funny thing is, when I got out there, I was just so gung-ho about doing stuff. Like, let's go here, let's go do this. Like, I not only do I want to see this stuff, it'll be an entertaining vlog, I think, and it'll be something that, kicks it off with some excitement. And I kind of blew a fuse in the first week I was there. I blew a fuse of just doing stuff that's interesting, entertaining, and worth filming. Like, if you were paying attention, you saw that I went to Malibu, I went to Santa Monica, we went to like Echo Park, which is a beautiful park. Bunch of other. We went on a hike, the Griffith Observatory, and all this was within the first week, and it was hilarious because I did all that stuff, and I was like, man, I still have like 9 days here, and I want to keep the entertaining factor up. And I texted Trav. I was like, hey, Trav, what are some things that you did out here, when you were just looking for something to do on like a free day that was fun? And he lists off everything that I had done already, except for one. I think it was that hill, whatever, it's the Spook Hill where your car goes up backwards. I was like, oh my God, that's right down the road. I'll do that right now. But it was funny because he was like, yeah, Santa Monica, go on a hike, Griffith Observatory, Echo Park. I was like, damn, I have already knocked off every single one of those off my list. This is going to be tough. So I think there was one day there where, I'm not going to lie, Jake and I just we went on a run and then just started playing FIFA. And then before we knew it, it was like 10 o'clock at night. It was like 10 o'clock at night. And we're like, oh my God. And then I was also watching Harry Potter, which is, I obviously saw comments on that video when I was like, hey guys, I've been watching a lot of Harry Potter, so I didn't do this vlog. And there were some really crazy, like almost like shocking responses to that. There were people saying like, how could you not have watched that? They were bringing up my ex-girlfriend and everything like that. It's just something, if you watch the first 4 movies, somebody who's watched all 8 of them, the first 4 they're not the best. I'll just be honest. I don't think they had the budget of the last 4. I don't think the actors. I mean, I'll hand it to them. Like, they were kids, and they did a decent job. They did a really good job. But as they got older and they were, more seasoned actors, if you will, it just was more entertaining. I was more sucked in. I think when they brought in like Helena Bonham Carter, she's amazing. The whole thing started to get exciting, and I never got to that point because I think I watched 3 or 4. And I was like, it was like the Quidditch World Cup, and I was like, I think I'm good. I don't want to watch the next one. But I kind of powered through because Jess got me into it. And I don't know, I finished it, and the whole series is amazing now. Once you finish the whole series, you really like it, and that's what happened to me. So weird comments on that vlog. Weird comments kind of really weirded me out. But now I'm more inclined to go to, what is it, the Harry Potter world at Universal. And every time I go there, I see things that I don't quite understand. It's still entertaining, because I think Universal spent like $200 million on it or something, and it shows. Like, it's super entertaining, but there's a lot of stuff I didn't get. But this time, I'll be like, oh, that's or da-da-da-da. I don't want to spoil it for anybody who's waited as long as I have to watch these movies. But there's a lot of cool stuff that you notice. But that's something that I want to do. And it's going to help me settle back into Orlando. It's crazy because I was out in LA, and I could totally see myself out there. That was one of the bigger questions that everybody would ask while I was out there. It's like you seem like you're having a blast out there. Is that a place you could see yourself living? 100%. 100% I could see myself living there. The rent at my place now is probably just as much as any place in LA, only the weather is something it's a stereotype, but it's 100% true. Like, Paris being beautiful is 100% true. People are just like, Paris is beautiful, it's beautiful. And you're like, yeah, it's probably like any other city. But you go there and it's like, wow, this city is absolutely beautiful. The same thing with LA and its weather. Like, at 5 o'clock every single day, somebody turns on the air conditioning outside. It's growing up in Florida, it's something that I was kind of just blown away by. Literally. There's a breeze, it's cool, even though it was like 90-something degrees during the day. Just, boom, it goes right down to 65, 62. And everybody eats dinner outside. You open all the windows, all the doors. And I think that's kind of worth it. What you pay in LA, it's a bit of a tax because you get that weather. But so when I got off the plane in Orlando, I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot about Florida. Like my skin is so pampered right now. I need to reacclimate to just I got a little sweat on my skin. No big deal. That's what being a Floridian is. Like, yeah, I'm kind of sticky all the time. Who cares? You go to the beach or something. And I kind of want to go to Disney or Universal to just fall back in love with it, because that's a big part of this town, Like at any time that you're bored, you could be like, oh yeah, just snap your fingers. Like, yeah, yep. I could always just drive 10 minutes and be at the happiest place on earth. I'm such a Disney nerd. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this new format that's going to be taken on. I just want to start with one a week. The podcast should be more entertaining that way, a little bit more content, and I won't feel stressed to just forced to talk and babble, which I'll be honest, I already feel like I'm doing that right now. But I really enjoyed my Sunday. That was the biggest thing, is I didn't feel guilty for not doing something. It's just like, hey, this is my day off. I look forward to it. Football was amazing. I don't know if I can never tell my fan base. I feel like it's 50% love football. The other 50% are like, they just roll their eyes every time they hear me talking about it, which is totally acceptable, because I understand that some people are just like, yeah, it's not for me, which is fine. But oh my gosh, it was a great opening week. It was crazy. So much fun stuff happened. As you know, I'm a Bucs fan. The Bucs won, which is that's like hell freezing over. It was amazing to see that. My fantasy team is a mess, though. Jake Bundrick is going to beat me for sure. What are you going to do? There's a crazy video I saw, too. You guys got to see this. I think it's the Philadelphia Eagles. This lineman. You can truly tell how strong offensive linemen are, because you just see a bunch of guys and you're like, they look fat. Those are athletes. And then you realize they're out there for hours in the sun, essentially exerting the most energy they can possible, especially if the running back is running. And you truly see it in this video, because I think it's a running back for the Eagles or somebody. He goes to jump over a defender. He kind of gets hit in midair, and his head is heading straight for the ground. Like he's going to land on his neck. One of those awkward landings where you kind of whoa, you hiss a little bit ooh. And this lineman just reaches out, catches him. It doesn't force him over. It doesn't even phase this guy. His back doesn't arch or anything. He just catches this running back who is probably 220 pounds. A massive dude, a full-grown man, a football player, is in the air, and this lineman just reaches out, catches him, and sets him back on his feet. It's it helps you understand that, oh, that's not just some big guy who's blocking. That's a physically tough dude. I don't know. It makes you kind of appreciate the sport a little bit more if you watch this video. Just Google lineman catches running back, maybe Eagles. You'll find it. It's kind of viral right now if you haven't already seen it. But it was a great Sunday. It was really, really, really nice. But what made it even better, 10 times better, is that Buddy was there. I've missed that dog. The old dogs in LA, they're sweet dogs. They were really old, which is not a bad thing. It's just I'm so used to Buddy being constantly running around, constantly wagging his tail, jumping on something, chewing on a toy. And I've gotten used to that energy with dogs. But these other dogs they'd get excited about eating, and then they'd just go lay down. That's all they did all day, every day. They would eat, lay down, just eat, lay down, which is fine. I get it. I'm ready for Buddy to get to that age. I think one of the dogs was 9, one of the dogs was 14. Dogs were as cute as could be. One of them had no teeth. She was 14. she was a little golden girl. She was frail. If I picked her up wrong, she would kind of whimper, because I think everything just kind of hurts when you're that old. Poor thing. But she was super sweet, and they grew to love me towards the end, because they were skittish at first. But I just got this Love Sack. I don't know, you guys. It's a brand. It's a company. It's called Love Sack. It's like luxury beanbags, if you don't know what it is. And they sent me one as a little promo, and I was like, yeah, I'll take one. And there's not a whole lot of room left in my apartment with my giant-ass couch, this office, and my bed. I got one of those Lisa mattresses back in the day, a king-size one. So there's just everywhere where there was room has now just been taken up. But I got this love sack. I plan on doing a promo and just kind of like maybe giving it to my brother or somebody like that. But what it's turned into now is a 6-foot dog bed. It is absolutely massive. And I just got it if you know the layout of my apartment from watching the vlogs, I've just got it right underneath the plaques. And it's probably 6 foot diameter. And maybe it comes off the ground like 3.5 feet. I think Charles and Allie, they have one too. You'll see theirs. Buddy is the only one that uses it. And he's so stoked. But the only problem is it gets so hot because it's like a fur on the outside. And we're in like September in Florida is the worst time to come here. I mean, it is, not only is it just hot, it's as humid as it can be, and it's always raining. So like this is kind of like the swampy season. Like you just feel like everything's wet all the time. Like you breathe in water, just hot water. It is so swampy down here. And I feel like Buddy just gets so hot. And I got him back from my mom. And I swear, every time I get him back or I leave for 3 weeks, he gets furrier. Have you guys noticed that? Like, go back and watch the first vlog where I got him. I think it's just called Everybody Meet Buddy. And, of course, he's hairless. He's got patches here and there. But he is, I don't know, now he's got like a full-grown sweater. And he's got random stray hairs. And I don't know, I can't tell if I'm supposed to be a responsible dog owner and cut his hair. Because I'm telling you, it cannot be hotter in Florida. But the thing is, like now winter's right around the corner. And granted, that's not as bad. It's not like a Michigan winter or Chicago winter. It's just, it's going to be colder. And I don't want to cut his hair. And then all of a sudden, like he could have used that coat. But when you see Buddy in the vlog, look how furry and like thicker he is compared to that first day when I got him. I think I'm supposed to cut his hair. I don't know, though. By the way, I finally figured out what his main breed is, because you guys know for the longest time, I was just guessing, because I got him from a rescue place in Orlando, and I was just guessing what he was. I was like, I think he's some kind of terrier. He's a little bit Chihuahua, I think. I mean, just look at his face. He is a Papillon. It's spelled Papillon, I think. There might be an I-O-N. Anyway, Papillon, it's like a French word. I think it means like butterfly ears. And if you Google a Papillon, it is dead on Buddy's breed. I mean, the purebred, like the Westminster perfect purebred version doesn't really look like Buddy, because I think they pin up their ears or something. But it is definitely his breed. It's Papillon mixed with something. I think Chihuahua still. But they're supposed to be furry is my point. Like if you look at them, there's just hair everywhere, mainly the tail and the ears, but the rest of it just goes down and it's just fur everywhere. And I think he's just supposed to have it, but I don't know. It's getting pretty long. I'm just babbling now about my to-do list, but I think I got to cut Buddy's hair, but I'm afraid he's not going to look the same. You know what I mean? I don't know. What do you guys think I should do? You think I should just leave him with his cool stray hairs? The winter will be here in no time. Or should I just be responsible and cut his hair because it's hot as F outside? Yeah, I think I just answered my own question. But the cool thing is, this apartment complex that I'm in, it's new. It's almost brand new. Like, I'm the first person to live in my apartment. So there's a lot of things that still haven't quite come to fruition as far as like the ideas they had when they first built this place. And one of the things was a dog park. You guys have seen me walk to like a park that allows dogs that's, pretty close by. But it's getting to the point where it's like it's too hot to go that far. Like Buddy is out of breath before he even gets there. So he's not going to run around. He's just going to find the nearest shade and, stare at me and wonder when we're going to leave. But my apartment complex finally got a dog park, which is crazy. Because I feel like every apartment complex you go to, no matter what, it doesn't have to be a nice one. It doesn't have to be, a new one. most apartment complexes have just like a little, it'll be like 50 feet by 30 feet, just chained off. They have, doggy bags and maybe like, think of Mark's apartment complex. Those little obstacles we were doing for Buddy. Like, I've seen those everywhere. But for some reason, we finally just got one for ours. And I'm so stoked. I couldn't be happier because that's one thing that I always feel guilty about living in this apartment is like my dog can't just run around. I mean, he can I can throw the toys from the couch to the office and he'll go get it and run it back. But like I feel like he just needs to like truly be able to sprint around in circles and do his weird stuff that he does. And I couldn't be happier that we finally have one. Honestly, I'm so stoked. So you guys are going to see a lot more of that in the future. And then I'm so excited about an idea that I got yesterday. I was just taking a shower. It's one of those things where like I'm washing my hair and it was such a good idea. Like I kind of put my arms down and just like stared at the wall, like thinking about all the different things. And there's still suds in my hair. I'm so excited about this idea that I have. That's going to be, it's going to be really fun. It's going to be really, really fun. I hate when people do that too, but that's just how excited I am that I had to tell you this little teaser, but it involves like a special video. It's going to be a special video in the future. I think you guys are going to love it. It's going to be fun. More than anything, it's going to be fun. Before I sign off on this, I just want to do a quick, 20 minutes, but before I sign off on it, I wanted to say that for now, I'm going to be doing these podcasts by myself. I miss Billy Burke with all my heart. We all miss the Billy Burke show, but he's 2 hours away in Bradenton. So the amount of podcasts I'll be able to squeeze him in is going to be minimum. But believe me, it is 100% my goal to get Billy Burke back on this show. He's my counterpart. He's the yin to my yang. You know what I mean? He's the Garfunkel to my... He's the Hall to my Oates, is what I'll say. He's the Andre 3000 to my... oh my God, what's the other one's name? Holy crap, I just blanked. And I literally just watched that Key and Peele sketch about how they got separated because Andre 3000 got too crazy. You know what I'm trying to say. I know. It's going to hit me the second I hit stop on this. I'm going to be like, oh yeah, big boy. Something like that. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. I really do appreciate it. These are going to be every single Monday. I'm going to try and get them up earlier than I did today, but every single Monday we're going to have a podcast here on YouTube. Let me know what you think. That's the beautiful thing about doing this format on YouTube is you guys get to comment. You get to correct me. You get to tell me how stupid I am. As much as I'm going to hate to read all that, it's your right. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening. I really do appreciate it. We will see you next, I'll talk to you next Monday. Bye.